right, welcome back everybody to the Create Together podcast with Nick Brengle and yours truly, Caleb Hargett.
Wow.
And just to kind of get into it, guys, today we are not going to do, for this specific episode, we're not going to do a quote of the day.
What?
Yeah, changing it up. This episode, we actually are just going to kind of do a catch up and kind of talk about current events in our own lives inside of filmmaking and outside.
Just step away from the topics and just, I don't know, give us a chance to just shoot the shit about our lives and to give a little more insight for the listeners and the viewers of just who we are and what's going on. I don't know, it's cathartic in one way to talk about what we do and our gear and editing and all of that, but it's also kind of therapeutic as well to just be able to just share things that are going on in our lives. I definitely think it connects us more here, but also with the people, with everyone listening and watching as well, just to be transparent and kind of open with, like, we're just people. So, you know, why not talk about, what's going on and whatnot. So, yeah.
So visibly for the viewers on the YouTube channel, you can see Nick has had.
Oh, if they can see this right here. It looks a lot better than.
Tell us, you've had some surgery done.
I had this thing. My wife, of course, she works in the dental field. She's a dental hygienist, so I have great access to amazing dentists and dental hygienists. But anyway, about 3 or 4 months ago, I randomly, like we all do, everyone bites their lips at some point or bites their gums or not their gums, their cheeks or whatnot. So I did that, and unfortunately I bit in an area where there was like a mucus gland, which there's a bunch in our mouths. And I'm explaining this very layman's terms because I don't even understand it.
That's good, because I was trying to explain it the other day to my wife.
Right.
And I'm like, it's like a nerve or something, or a gland or something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you bite that, and what happens is typically you bite your cheek or whatever. You might get some blood or whatever. It just heals right up. Well, in this case, because it was a mucus gland, you open it up, and then it can, something about filling back up with fluid, and it creates this little sac. And so I had this little bump inside my lip for the past 3 or 4 months, and was waiting to get. You have to have surgery done basically because it doesn't go away. It either continues to grow or it just stays the same size. And so I had surgery last Friday, so they make an incision, they pull all the sac out or the fluid or whatever it is, and then they suture you up. And very minor surgery, but at the same time not at all, because what you're seeing now is almost a week from when it happened, and like the day after it was, I couldn't really talk at all.
Damn, dude, yeah.
So it was fun, but hopefully there's a chance that this thing could actually come back, which kind of sucks, and then I'd have to have the surgery again. But I guess typically the size of these are somewhere between 6 and 8 millimeters, and mine was over 20. So it was one of the biggest ones the doctor had ever seen.
Yeah.
I got to eat smoothies for about 3 days straight, and so I do not want a smoothie for a while. Like, just the thought of it is not exciting, because now I can eat solid foods again.
What was the first thing you ate after, like, that was solid? Or did you have, like,
I didn't have anything crazy. I had a bagel and eggs, and I had a Mighty Meals last night.
Okay.
But nothing crazy yet. No, nothing. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Shout out to Mighty Meals. Not a sponsored post yet.
No.
Not yet.
Recovery is good. I'm good to go. Yeah, and my birthday was yesterday. So
happy freaking birthday, man.
You. So turned 45, and 32. Not really care about counting anymore. But originally, because we don't eat beef like ever, like really, really rarely, only if we randomly go to a nice restaurant and somebody's like, you have to get a steak. Yeah. We just haven't been doing that. And so I said, for my birthday, I'm going to grill like a couple of steaks, because the last time the last time I grilled steaks, I lived in St. Petersburg, Florida. So like my own. So it's been a long time. And Ariel said, yeah, let's do it. And then of course I had this surgery, and then yesterday I'm like, no, I'm not grilling, man. I wasn't even in the mood, but yeah. So just didn't do anything. Just that's the best birthday, is to do nothing. I literally just didn't do anything. That's my favorite kind of birthday. So, but
it's your party. You cry if you want to.
Yeah, why not?
Have you heard that song?
No, I've never heard that song.
It's my birthday.
Yes, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so celebrated the birthday. Not really. Well, this is obviously going to be after the fact, but yeah, obviously we're going to go out to dinner and do some stuff this weekend. But and then you recently just went to the Getaway House.
So this past weekend, my wife...
Explain Getaway House first, though, to people that don't know what Getaway House is.
So the Getaway House is essentially these two guys, friends that used to live in the city, were looking to basically get away. It was back... I don't know, a couple of years ago when the tiny house thing started kind of blowing up, and I guess they came across and discovered those, and were like, they were working in the city and stuff, and were like, oh, it would be kind of cool to get one of these and kind of make it like a cabin though in the woods,
to be able to retreat from the city and
just get out. Yeah. And I guess they did that, and I mean, I'm not quite sure this story is accurate, but just me reverse engineering this, I'm thinking probably what happened. So they did that, and then they started telling their friends about it, and then they got hype, and somebody's has the genius idea, whoa, let's make this into a business. Anyway, nowadays that's what it is. You basically go to these, it's like an area it's the Getaway House area, but anyway, it's almost like a glorified trailer park in a way. It's not, but it's basically
it's trendy. It's a trendy trailer park. It's like a hipster, modern day,
but glamping at the same time. You know what I mean?
Glamping.
That's because you also are embracing the wilderness and everything like that. It's not so much about being in the tiny house. So it's you're getting both worlds.
Right.
You could try to just sit in the tiny house all day and do things inside the tiny house, but it's also just more fun to go get out and get out in the wilderness and just come home to a bed versus a tent.
Right, exactly.
When you're camping.
And the whole experience of that is very much catered towards unplugging and being in the moment and not putting your phone away and just enjoying the nature as it is. Yeah.
And as cliche as that, they literally have a lockbox for your cell phone, but it's so cool. It's genius branding, I think.
Definitely.
Because for somebody, I think that's what's cool too. Just, talking, we had the episode on minimalism and talking about that. This is a great, if anybody who is sort of trying to delve into or kind of really want to understand, or, when they wonder what it would be like, that's the closest thing experience you could get. Go do that for a weekend. You literally show up and, they it's cool because they provide they have eating utensils, plates and things like that. And they have some olive oil.
They have anything you need. Some you have to pay extra for, but everything's there, right? You could literally show up with nothing.
Yes. But you're going to be dealing with just your bare, minimal needs.
Right.
And then they have the fire starter and stuff starters, and they have wood for you. So you don't have to do all that stuff.
You guys said you had a fire going. What was the temperature? Was it night? Was it cooler at night, or was it still kind of warm?
So in that area, this area is I can't.
It's right off the Shenandoah, or no?
Stannardsville is
okay. I think it's pretty close to the Shenandoah.
Mountains. Yeah, it's not too far from. Darn, I can't even remember.
Yeah, but it's out west. It's over there.
Yeah. So you're in whatever the Blue Ridge Mountains or whatnot. You're kind of out there. Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, I could be horribly wrong. I don't know.
That's all right. We don't have to be geographically
The wife does all
correct.
The navigation and stuff.
Yeah,
I just I'm
exactly.
I drive.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about it.
You
were out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
But that is the key thing is they're
this place, Stannardsville, I've never heard of or knew nothing about.
Of course not. No.
Yeah. All I know is I'm seeing mountains everywhere.
Gotcha.
But
but they're only outside of DC. New York, they're specifically LA, outside of major metropolitan.
And what's cool is it's this one is exactly 2 hours outside of the city, but apparently they're never gonna. I think that's kind of their
2
models.
hours.
It's either 2 hours or no more than 2 hours
Gotcha.
outside of the city. So that's cool too, because you also make like a day trip kind of out of it. It
Right.
feels like we went on a vacation
Right.
and we didn't leave Virginia.
It's not exhausting. It's not like, oh, we got to drive 6 hours to where, or 8 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice. That is nice.
And it's nice too, because since you're headed out to the country, you're clearly going to be on like a scenic route.
Right.
So that was kind of therapeutic. That's one way.
But yeah, the temperature, how was it at night?
It wasn't bad. And so it was cooler
Right.
out there, period, than it is here, which was we didn't quite plan for. Yeah, like I ended up like the first night like wore my like raincoat because that's all I brought. It was a jacket,
right?
So it was like kind of nippy, but it wasn't bad. I mean, and when it seemed just a little lower than room temperature. It wasn't like just chilly, but nothing. It wasn't like cold, but it also wasn't like too hot out there. Like because in that area, I don't know.
Yeah, you're up
Something
a little
about
higher. Yeah, you're up a little higher for sure.
But it was nice, man. I refocused. It sounds because of all their marketing and everything around it. You're literally, it's like almost like, okay, just do yourself the best and try not to buy into all this stuff to like make yourself think that like this is like a what is it, like a spiritual retreat you're gonna go like find yourself. Dude, like come second day I started finding myself again. It was like I was feeling so much more centered and like I don't know, just like looser. I made the comment like it's weird, like I think in the city I'm always thinking about making sure to eat at the right time and like making sure what the next meal is, like thinking about all that kind of stuff, like dinner and all that kind of stuff. Dude, out there I think every meal we were like, oh, should we eat now? Like you're just like, oh man, it's like 2:00 and we haven't done lunch today. Like that was kind of cool. Like I don't know, just like totally being just, I don't know, outside of yourself and all that other kind of stuff that you enjoy yourself to so much. Yeah, you're like, I don't know, content. That's kind of
right. No, I think that's the biggest thing is you legitimately, whether consciously or unconsciously, you are separating yourself for a day or two from everything else. You're forced to pretty much. Like you said, your cell phone signal is pretty much gone. And either you're there by yourself or with, obviously in our case, be with our wives or whatnot. Well, that's it. There's nothing else there. So you pretty much, you're either talking to yourself or your significant other. And
it was weird for me because I'm not, well, again, going back to the eating thing, like I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that. Like I'm not really into that stuff, but it was just cool to think, like I wouldn't consider myself a stress eater, but literally I almost could add it up to that. Like, oh, I guess, eating is a stress related thing for me. Like, dang, I would have never figured that out any other way, I don't think.
Right.
And that's the thing too, when you actually go camping, I feel like that, because I've done that quite a bit, I feel like that doesn't set in either because you're so excited about the food you're going to cook.
Right.
There too, you're like, oh, I'm going to like forage and make these things and do all that stuff. Whereas, with that also was gone,
Right. Yeah. You're just
because you still have a stove and everything. At this,
Right. And you could make more of it than even, like you could bring more food. You could, you could definitely make it even more comfortable.
But it's cool to go camping and not be forced to cook over the open fire, even though that's fun. But like we could save the fire just for like s'mores.
And stay inside if there's bugs or like mosquitoes or.
Which I did do, for the record, I did do like a, what do you call it? Like a potato pack or whatever. Like a hobo pack. Which is like potatoes and like onions, and you kind of chop them up and you put all the seasoning and stuff in a tinfoil.
Right.
And you kind of make like a little taco. You add like some olive oil and you literally, you just make this taco and seal it up and sit it on top of the fire. Like
for
you
how
literally
long?
sit it in the fire. So typically you want to do it for like, I'd say an hour, but kind of just keep flipping it back and forth,
How'd it come out?
Over
it was good?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. But speaking of, because I'm thinking potatoes, I'm doing all that stuff. I ended up I cooked like so much. We could have had potatoes for like 3 days.
Nice. Yeah, and on the same thread, we have some friends an older couple they're basically like another father and mother to us.
You got to go into your recent trip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We got to go out to the Outer Banks in Duck, North Carolina, which we had never been out there before, and got to stay in this beautiful beach home that it's like a 2-minute walk from the water. And yeah, we were just there over the weekend from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, came back on a Monday. But yeah, first thing was the drive down there wasn't too bad from DC because we've driven down to Wilmington, and that was like almost 7 hours, and that was a little much. But this was only about when we left Friday, I think it was right at 5 hours, and then it only took 4 hours to get home. So that was really doable and kind of comfortable. But yeah, it was nice being out there because the people that we went with, they're just very laid back and just kind of whatever you guys want to do, we'll do. You know, they go there all the time, so they can just sit around and do nothing, and we kind of like doing that also. So we went out to eat one night, we went out for lunch. That was it, and then just sort of hung out. Ariel was helping put together a puzzle. I mean, it was literally very unplugged, and
it's the life, man.
It was kind of nice. So we're hoping to be able to do that again sometime soon because, yeah, it is kind of nice. Like a couple years ago, we went up to Maine, which was again my wife's choice to go there, and then I loved it. But it was another place that was sort of you're unplugging because it's so. If you go anywhere where there's way less people than what you're used to, I feel like that's already. It's almost like going into the woods. Like if we're typically in DC and then you go to Kennebunkport, Maine, where there's like I don't even know, not a lot of people.
Wait, is that's an actual place?
Yeah, in Maine. Kennebunk.
Oh man, I thought you were making that.
Yeah,
up.
Kennebunk, Maine is where we stayed a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we went up to Portland, Maine, which was awesome. I don't know. I mean, I could say I could live there, but at the same time, I've looked into sort of Maine itself, and it is much of an older state, and there's not a lot of opportunity as much for, I think, our age group as far as connecting with a lot of people. And it's just cold as hell, like 9 months out of the year. So you can only go there in like July and feel comfortable. The water's still freezing. So
it's clearly that place that people are literally going to get away.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Okay. But anyway, yeah, we do like to do the same thing, like the getaway house, and we haven't done that yet, but just to be able to go places and unplug. But I also love going to the big cities, and like New York City, I haven't been back since 3 years ago or whatever it was, but man, I could go. Yeah. I would love, I need to go again. And we've been to Philly a few times, and I love just the energy of going somewhere different. I think that's just something to encourage people, not just to go to a getaway house or to go out to the beach or go to the city, anywhere, just kind of, even if it's for a couple days, to just refocus or look at something a little bit different, because we can so easily get complacent in our day-to-day routines and not make it a point to, I've never been out of the country, and that's one, a lot of people think that's crazy, but even to just be able to go anywhere, just to be able to have that luxury to say, hey, let's just take a couple days to go wherever, it doesn't matter, just to kind of get away from our day-to-day normal routine.
Speaking of, it may not be for everybody, but I think I see this happening over and over, where people they do go travel, but they like, they can. Oh, I hit the mic. They do consider this a quote unquote getaway, but they also make it super stressful because they overbook themselves on these vacations. And I've become victim of it. That's why I'm bringing it up. And I think that's what me and my wife are getting better at now.
Going places with no as much of an agenda.
Yes, like say we want to do something, or kind of be like, it would be nice to do that day, but not be like, we have to be there at 3 so that we can be over here at 4, and that kind of stuff. Because then, you wake up relaxed, like, oh, I'm in a different place, and then as soon as that schedule starts to kick in,
it changes.
Stress starts to build again, and you're right back where you are, and then you end at the end, and you're like, it was so awesome, it was crazy, blah blah blah, and you're just like. But I kind of didn't slow down.
Yeah, we like going places and not. So when we went to Maine, that was really easy because we knew we were staying in Kennebunk in this Airbnb, this old huge cabin house, and we knew what there was to do. Not much. So whatever happened, we had a couple of things that we want to do, like eat lobster at this famous place and go to this island that you take a ferry over to and ride bikes. Just like a couple of things. And then the rest we just let happen. Like Portland, Maine was amazing. It's literally this amazing, tiny little hipster city with freaking amazing coffee, this art museum that we just discovered while we were there, and we went to it. That wasn't on the agenda. And same with New York City. That was another big one. Yeah, we went to the Tonight Show. We went to this steakhouse. We had a couple of things that were scheduled, but other than that, it was like, okay, we want to have some good coffee, or we want to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge and go to this certain pizza place. But nothing was like scheduled out. Because, that can get kind of, that's like going to Disney World or something. You got to schedule out the fast pass for the rides. Yeah. I'm over all that. I don't want to do that stuff, man. Hopefully my kid doesn't want to go to Disney. He's like, Dad, I just want to go hike in the woods or something. That would be awesome.
Speaking of, that's what I was saying. The getaway house, when we were there, my wife and I, we had this, epiphany kind of at the same time. We're just like, this is the perfect scenario for like, an intro to the woods for a kid that's growing up in the city or something. Like, the kid, would have no desire, or it's super scary. That's a very soft, like,
you get to still stay in like basically a home, but you're out in the woods.
Like I was thinking about that. Like I think it's nice to, you could, I don't have kids, but when I do have kids, or, somebody that maybe does have kids that's not so wilderness, ready, which I feel like I am, but I'm saying for anybody that I know that is not,
or not even just
that will
kids.
Make them comfortable to go camping with their freaking son and give them those experiences that otherwise they would have to catch up on them for themselves before they could take, a kid. But I was like, this is really cool. They've really hit a niche that, I just wouldn't think of. Like, there's a bazillion kids who like miss out on camping. It's not because their parents don't want to take them, it's because their parents wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
It's
themselves.
true.
Like, they're scared of it.
Yeah, I mean, I only went camping when I was younger. I was in Boy Scouts, so I went camping a few times. But other than that, probably wouldn't have had the same opportunity. I mean, camping in my own backyard sometimes, but other than that, no, never had that opportunity. But
to go back into to get back, you film stuff too, from our work day to day, it's also, we love freaking filmmaking.
Oh, so right. Doing stuff while we're away.
Shoot videos during this stuff. Right. But it's more like, you don't have so much of an agenda. So and the reason I'm also saying this, I just put out literally today, but this will air later, but
they've already seen it
from our getaway. Video from our getaway, weekend. But so that's my wife, Krista Hargett, she runs a fitness blog / site called Sweat Smarter. And literally it's kind of aggregates all the fitness, like free fitness, basically how to save money on fitness in the DC, Arlington, DMV kind of area. And essentially I describe it, it's kind of like extreme couponing for
she busts her ass on it for sure. Like
she goes heavy, but it is her
good
fun.
About it though.
And I think that's the thing too, it is her fun project. It's not a business, but she's running at it, and this is one of the things. So she had a partnership where Getaway offered her to come stay, and but that was the thing. They didn't tell us that we had to do anything. They didn't give her this because I was a filmmaker and they were like, we know, he would do it. They knew nothing about me. I literally made this videos. We're going up, I'm always going to kind of shoot stuff, but and again, this is her thing. So I'm also trying to always not like bombard it and, like steal the show in a sense. But, there was there's a contest that goes on each week and it helps you like win one. So I was like, I'll shoot something.
You're going to win. Come on. Like you're probably going to win. Let's just be honest. Let's be real. Come on.
But either way, I think that was fun for me. Cause like, even though not like, I learned about this contest last minute. I was like, okay, that's some kind of inspiration to kind of go for it, I guess. Because now I know my intent is, it's still focusing on her stay.
Right.
You get what I mean? Because she can post those things too and all that. And yeah, because, it's just one of those things, like just kind of knowing your lane and that, yeah, I'm a filmmaker and I like shoot stuff, but I originally was just bringing my camera just to shoot stuff.
Right, exactly.
Maybe content for her, but literally just like for the memories and stuff. And I think that's the thing too. I also, there's a lot of YouTube has become a really big thing where, there are a lot of people that are also stressing themselves out as filmmakers to go make some crazy adventure travel film and all that kind of stuff. And to realize, man, cameras are for capturing moments.
Right. Just do you. Again.
And if you're getting away and you're going to go for a vacation, don't turn it into a job,
No. I don't think you should.
And I've done it. I've become victim. I did it before. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? But I'm trying to get better at this. That's why I'm also just saying maybe nobody else, people are not thinking about that time of thing, but I'm telling you, it also feels like some of the better films that I'm making that are like travel films or travel oriented stuff are starting to come out of these trips where I'm like, I'm just going to take it and try to, take the camera, and not necessarily think of a storyline.
That's what
figure
I was
it
about
out
to say.
and edit if I'm going to do that. But ultimately, I've just been shooting to make a montage of stuff.
Right. I think going into certain situations with, same
like
thing.
It's like scrapbooking for way back in the day. Your mom would come out with the Polaroid. She takes photos the whole time, and you have that scrapbook.
Right.
I'm just doing the modern version. It's I'm going to take all this video and stuff like that, and just again, my montage is my scrapbook.
Exactly. Then that's what we do, or at least that's what I've done with certain. Like went to the Outer Banks. I knew I was going to bring like just a simple setup, but I literally didn't know what I was going to shoot. And then, I said, tomorrow morning, let's get up. Well, we when we have been on vacation, and it's pretty much either been Maine or North Carolina the last few years. So we've been on the water, and we do at least one of those mornings like to get up at 5 a.m. and go out and watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to think of something to shoot or just something simple. And so I just said, okay, I'm going to bring camera, gimbal, and my 25 mil cinema lens. And I'm just going to shoot some very static, one take shots on the beach for sunrise, in the right color temperature. Just have everything just very technically specific for what I'm shooting, and then just upload something from that, and then follow it up, which I will be with, just talking about,
you
made
something out of it. You didn't go there and was like,
exactly. But that's
which is cool because, we talk about shooting with intent as a film and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's kind of nice. Yeah. When you're vacating,
but I do fight it just like you do, because I do, like when we went to Maine a couple of years ago, there's a video on my YouTube channel. It was a vlog. I basically made like a travel vlog from that trip, which one of my favorite vlogs when I was doing it. I still love it.
I watched it.
But if I did it again, I would do something different, for sure. I am definitely fighting it, just how you said, of like you're like, oh, I want to plan to do something, but
I used to make trips so stressful.
Yeah,
man.
but nowadays I'm not doing that. We when we just went to North Carolina, I brought my stuff, but Ariel would say we were going wherever to this thing, wherever we were going, and maybe I did take a couple of shots. And I'm like, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use it. I want to distract from getting away from, separating from the camera sometimes. But
I've gotten better where it's like I'm only like for this getaway thing. The day when Krista was like, yeah, we should get some shots like this, was when I was like, okay, now I'll involve her and we'll do some, we'll stage up some stuff.
Right.
We'll kind of think some scenes out,
Exactly.
And I'll be like, okay, wait, let's like set the camera up here so we can show us doing something. So, and I think that was cool because before I just come in guns a-blazing. We're doing that the whole time,
right.
And I'm like, come on, Krista. And she's probably like, at the same time too, like your wife doesn't want to be directed the whole time.
Right.
Like I have to like put myself in another, person's shoes. And I've like thought that through. And I'm like, yeah, that would be kind of stressful for me too. If she's like, okay, stand up here so I can take a photo. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's the same thing. People do that for Instagram stuff. Like, and that's annoying. Right. I mean, for me, that's the part where I could relate. I'm like, yeah, I get annoyed when I'm around somebody and everything they do is for the Instagram clout. And like, it's like,
come on, man. Like, just live your life.
One selfie's good. Like, one selfie's good. You don't need a selfie at every freaking place you go with everyone. And a group photo.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. But dude, this has been great. Yeah, thanks again everybody for, sitting in for this, a new, different kind of like styled podcast.
Yeah, let us
Just
know
catching up.
if you enjoy kind of this format that we could do every once in a while to just sort of, again, I think we just enjoy talking about what's going on in our lives. And again, we do want, please, if you have any questions, whether it's about what we do or why we do it or who we do it with, DM us on Instagram, find us one way or another and shoot us some questions. We would like to do more of that. That'd be awesome to answer your questions. And if you're watching this, you should subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, drop a comment below. And if you're listening, this is very important. Just leave a quick 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and, share it on Instagram. We're still, kind of trying to figure out how to market this podcast because, we're definitely still very new at doing this. And just trying to find our audience, the community. I think we definitely have some people, but please let us know. Like if you are listening or if you're watching this, let us know because that will help us to just continue to produce this and anything that gives us like the extra boost to just keep producing, which we're going to keep doing now. But as always, thank you, and I guess we'll see you next week.
It's been great.